Alright, so in this video today, I want to talk about what to do as a parent if you find out that your child is using opioids. So the way this usually goes down, and then a parent reaches out to me, is they found a pill bottle in their child's room. Usually it's Oxys, as the kids call them. Could be oxycodone, oxymorphone, hydrocodone, hydromorphone. Pick your favorite opioid. Could even be codeine or something like that. But nonetheless, you found the pills. And if you found the pills and you haven't confirmed they're opioids, you can always look at the little code on the pills, the little numerical code. Look up, just Google it. It'll tell you exactly what that pill is. Anyways, so what do you do once you realize that your kid has done some opioids? I think the first thing to do is talk to them a little bit and see if they are hopelessly addicted and admit to having a problem, or is it something they've been experimenting with? Of course, a lot of times the kid's scared to death, so he's going to tell you that it was just an experiment, and quite often that is actually true. But with some regularity, you will find that a kid is actually really scared because they realize these drugs now have got a hold on them, and they're dependent on using them every day to avoid going into withdrawal. And I will tell you that at that point, if the kid will open up, it's time to discuss maybe going to rehab if it's really severe. And the way I would explain really severe is, what I mean by that is that this young person is consuming maybe 5-10 of these pills a day. They tend to be fairly consistent in terms of the dosage. Or if they're doing fentanyl, which is potentially fatal just like that, then it might be time to take the step of going to rehab. But before you send them off to rehab for 28 days, take a look at my videos. I've done 2 different videos, 2-part series, entitled "Should You Go to Rehab or Not?" And I kind of make a balanced discussion out of it, explaining here's the reasons you should probably go, and here's the reasons you may not want to go. I think it really needs to be thought through carefully. In our society, I think there's sort of a snap judgment that going to rehab in an inpatient facility for 28 days is the best thing you can do if you're really serious. But there's some flaws with that, and I discuss those in the videos. Anyways, getting back to the problem. The next thing you should do after having a discussion with your child about it, whether or not you believe what they've said, you just have to protect the life of your child. You need to go to the drugstore. Sounds odd. And what you want to do is you want to get a prescription for Narcan. And this is just basically a nasal spray. And this nasal spray is super easy to use. It's just like Afrin nasal spray or anything like that. It's just in that little box, there's a little blister pack, with the aluminum foil. You pop it out, you squirt it up their nose, and it immediately sweeps all of the opioids off of the receptor sites in your brain. It's extremely effective medication. It's been on the market, on the streets for probably through almost 30 years now, I would guess. Extremely potent, safe medication. There's really no wrong door. If you give it to the kid and they didn't need it, because it turns out they're just really sleeping like a log, there's no wrong door. You can't make any mistakes with the medication. It's fantastic because the medication only will do one thing: clear out receptor sites. It doesn't have all these other side effects. There's no abuse potential. It's an amazing medication. I had the bizarre honor, I guess I would call it, of using it downtown Seattle here where I practice. It's a phenomenal medication. It saves lives every day all around the world, and you've got to get it in your house, because I think the worst feeling in the world as a parent might possibly be to realize that your kid showed a sign of having a drug problem with potentially fatal opioids, where overdose is not uncommon, especially in the new age where we have fentanyl that is laced into supposed legitimate oxycodones. And just a few micrograms of fentanyl can kill a small person. It's frighteningly powerful. So go to the drugstore, ask for it. They will give you a box. Mine right there, I think I paid $100 for it. But I will say I will spend $100 any day of the week to potentially save my child or somebody else's child. I just will. I carry mine in my briefcase because I work here in downtown Seattle, and opioids are all over the place. And I think it's money well spent. All you got to do is go to the pharmacy and ask for it. Now, that's not in every single state. I can only speak for where I live here in Washington, but nonetheless, you can get your hands on it. The next thing you need to do is you need to kind of go through your home and kind of check your medicine cabinets and maybe anywhere else. Really do a deep dive around the house to make sure there's no other pain medications. Again, we're talking about just opioids that can be abused, because you just want to remove that temptation. Those pills are incredibly powerful in terms of their attraction to somebody that is suffering with opioid use disorder. And then the last thing I would like to encourage you as a parent to do is to remember that opioids don't just work on physical pain. Everybody knows about the physical pain, but they're actually really effective at pushing down and suppressing mental pain. And that is what gets a lot of people to do them in the first place. Or maybe they took it, but it was for an injury or surgery recovery. But then they realized, wow, I don't feel the pain of much of the emotional baggage of my life when I take these. I really like these. I like the way I feel. And of course, that puts you in quite a loop. So go back to your child and say, was there something about this type of pill that was really attractive to you? Was it helpful emotionally to push all that stuff down? Because if so, let's get some counseling. Let's work on some stuff and not have to medicate it away. Anyways, thanks for listening, and feel free to check out my website, mauldingcounseling.com, MAULDING counseling.com. Thanks a bunch. Bye.